Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Energy Control Mod Spotlight for Minecraft version 1.7.10. This is a mod made by Zuxelus and I have covered it on the channel before, but it was for version 1.12.2 and it focused more on HBM integration. In this video, we are going to take a more general look on the mod and all of the monitoring capabilities that it has to offer. Now do remember that this mod is still in development, so a lot of bugs will be fixed and new features will be added as the developer is very active. Mod download and timestamps are in the description, so without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's start by taking a look on all of the different information panels this mod has to offer. First up is the industrial information panel. Next up, we have the advanced information panel. Third, the holographic information panel. And finally, the portable panel, which can be placed on any block. Now, the industrial information panel is the most basic one out of them all, and its GUI looks something like this. As for the advanced one, it is an advanced version of the industrial information panel. So in order to display information, these panels need cards. Let's start with the most basic card, which is the time card. Now the time card will show us the time, but in order to actually display it, you need to supply it with a strong redstone signal. Now this is the case with the holographic panel as well. So just placing the card in won't do the trick. You will also need a strong redstone signal, and it does matter if the signal is strong or weak. Like for example, if I were to weakly power this, it won't work. So only strong redstone signals work. Now this is not the case with the advanced information panel. As with the advanced information panel, you will get the option of toggling the panel on and off inside the GUI itself. So here we have a button which can toggle the panel on and off, and it can also set the panel to take strong or weak redstone signal. Pretty interesting. Now these panels are pretty small by themselves. So in order to make them bigger, we have the panel extenders for each of the panels. So just by placing a panel extender, touching the main panel, your screen or your display will basically enlarge. So here I have made a 3x2 panel. For the advanced one, let's go with a 3x3. I haven't tested the size limit yet, but these panels can be absolutely massive if you want to. Now for the holographic panel, it doesn't really extend in the vertical direction, it only goes sideways or horizontally. Now finally we have the portable panel, which as the name suggests is portable. It can view the information on the go. Now let's take a look on the GUI of these panels. The first slot is for cards, second slot for adding a range upgrade, third slot for changing the color of screen and text, and the fourth slot for adding a touchscreen upgrade. Now you can also change how information is displayed on these panels by pressing this button. So basically you can switch it from a more detailed view to a less detailed view. And finally, there is also a button to change the refresh rate of these panels, or at what rate information is going to change. Now all of these previous features are also available in the advanced panel, but it has more slots, or it can hold more cards, basically 3 instead of a single one. And also you can change its orientation along the vertical or the horizontal axis like this. So here you can see that we have slanted the panel along the vertical axis, and you can do the same along the horizontal axis as well. Basically you can customize these panels however your base demands it to be. So that's pretty cool. With the panels done, now let's take a look on all of the different type of cards and the kits that provide these cards in the first place. Now the text card and time card don't require any kit, but all of the other kind of cards they do. So we start with the text card. Now as the name suggests, the text card will allow you to write information on your panel. So just click on the text button and now you can start adding your text. I'm simply going to write Energy Control Mod Spotlight by Savage Vegeta. Now editing information like this or editing your text like this is pretty easy. This feature was not present in the previous updates of the mod, but in this update it is there. So there we go. We have written text on our panel. Now you can also add spaces or edit the text however you want to like this. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Now as we are using the advanced control panel, we can use multiple cards, right? So in the first slot, let's add a time card. And what this will do is display time upon the text that we had written before. Now the second card or the third card that we are going to see is going to be the vanilla card using the remote vanilla kit. Now this will work on all of the vanilla blocks like furnace, chest, stuff like that. So right now I have my card linked to a furnace which will also show its coordinates. Placing this card in here will show the information about the furnace. Now notice what happens when I break the furnace. It will simply show that target not found, and placing the furnace again will start displaying its information. So the card is linked to a coordinate, not to the block itself, which is pretty interesting. Now once the furnace is running, it will show you all of the useful information like burn time, the input, fuel used, and the output of the furnace. So that is how you can use the vanilla kit on all of the vanilla blocks. Next up, if you want to edit the amount of information being shown, you can uncheck or check anything that you want to. So by unchecking specific things, you can basically make them not appear on the screen anymore. So it's pretty customizable. Next up, we have the inventory kit, which works on inventories like crates and chests. Placing it down on the screen and turning the screen on, it should show up the chest, but it says it's out of range. Well, that's because the chest is too far, and in order to solve that, you can use the range upgrades offered by this mod. So get some range upgrades and place one in there, and with this, now the chest is in the range of the panel or the card that we placed in the panel. So if you start adding items in the chest, they should show up on the screen. It will show you the amount of slots used, the number of items present, and the name of the items in the first 3 or 4 slots. Alright, next up is the Redstone Kit. Now Redstone Kit can work on redstone sources or redstone wires themselves. In our case, we are going to use redstone wire. And also don't forget to add the range upgrade. So as soon as you add it, it will start showing the status of the redstone wire or the redstone dust. And by powering it, it will also show whether it can power other blocks or not. It is receiving a weak signal or a strong signal. So it's pretty detailed in the information that it does show. Next up, we have the toggle switch. Now the toggle kit can work on anything that can be toggled on or off. In our case, let's take an example of the lever. So as the lever can be turned on and off, we have a button which can be interacted with by pressing the left Alt key. So by pressing the Alt key and then right clicking on the screen will toggle the lever on and off, or basically that is how you interact with the screen. So you can make an emergency button or an emergency shutdown for your base using this method. And there we have successfully added an alarm which can basically alert your entire base. Alright, so that was it for most of the vanilla blocks. Now let's take a look on the energy sensor card or the energy sensor kit. As the name suggests, the energy sensor kit will show you the amount of energy stored in any energy storage block or any machine that can store energy. And it will start updating it in real time. Next up, we have the liquid kit and the advanced liquid kit. And as with the energy kit, the liquid kit works on liquids. So if I start pumping this tank with water, it should show up on the screen right here. So there we have the tank registered, and if we start filling it up with water, there you go. It will show you the fill percentage, the capacity, and the amount of water that can be filled in it. Now the advanced liquid kit, in this version right now it doesn't show any more information than the normal kit does, but in 1.12.2 it does show a lot more information than the normal liquid kit can show, and it also works on machines, by the way. And finally we have the HBM Sensor Kit. Now the reason I have the HBM Sensor Kit is because I have HBMs installed. If you install any other mod which is compatible with energy control, you will have the sensor kit of that mod as well. So how it works is you simply right click on any HBM machine with the kit and you will get the HBM sensor card. And these cards can be used like any other card that we used previously in this video. So if I just place it in here, it will show the capacity of the assembly machine that we have placed down here. And you can view different type of information, like for example, this is the card for the oil derrick. So by placing the oil derrick card in, if we take a look on the internal GUI, we have a slot for energy and 2 slots for liquid, which is shown on the display right here. Now the feature which most of you are going to use this mod for is going to be the nuclear reactors, and this HBM sensor kit works on all of the nuclear reactors as well. So for an example, let's take the Zuxelus reactor. Right clicking will give you a card which will show you the information about the Zuxelus reactor. And as you can see here, we have the Zuxelus reactor. Now let's just set it up. And as you can see, right now I am producing super dense steam and the reactor is completely running, which can be seen from the display right here. So it's pretty detailed in the information that it is going to show you. Next up, now that we are discussing about nuclear reactors, is going to be the thermal monitor and the remote thermal monitor, and along with them some other blocks like the alarm and the lamps. Now the thermal monitor, as the name suggests, will work on any reactor that has a temperature in it. So right now, as the reactor is running over 500 degrees Celsius, you will see that the monitor immediately turned red. If I set the limit of this monitor to, let's say, 600 degrees Celsius, it will turn green, as the reactor is running within safe limits. Now this monitor will also emit a redstone signal on all of its sides. So by placing an alarm on its top, and if I set the limit to 550, you will see that the alarm goes off immediately. So you can make a temperature monitoring system using these blocks. Now the remote thermal monitor will also work in the same way. You can place down a machine card with a machine that has actually temperature in it, and the remote thermal monitor will show you at what temperature the machine currently is running. So as I have set the limit to 900, the bar will slowly go down. If I set it to 1200, the bar will go down even more because our reactor right now is running at around 500 degrees Celsius. Now the remote thermal monitor will also emit a redstone signal on all of its sides. So if I press down an alarm and I take the temperature above 500 degrees Celsius, the alarm immediately goes off, and so does the lamp as well. Now finally, before I wrap this video up, there is the timer. Now the timer, as the name suggests, will basically time out your redstone signals. So right now, as I have set it to no redstone, it will continuously emit a signal as soon as, or as long as the timer is not running. Let's say that I set a timer to 10 seconds and then I start it. So for 10 seconds, the redstone signal will go off. And as soon as those 10 seconds are up, a redstone signal will come up again. Now you guys are pretty creative. I don't need to tell you what you can use this for. So finally, that was it for the video. I hope you guys did like it. If you did, do smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Peace out.